Okay, so 6 o'clock, we're gonna start the meeting. Zach is gonna be 45 minutes late, and I'm gonna be here for an hour.
Okay, let's burn this then.
So,
Can be done in an hour.
short and sweet.
Yep.
I already signed them all, so.
Yep, Liz got this VOREC one.
Oh, which, yeah,
Yeah, so that was his update, so.
okay, yep. Alright, so let's start the meeting. Review minutes from November 1st meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of November 1st, 2023.
Okay, I second the motion. Did we have any discussion on those minutes? Okay, all in favor of the minutes for November 1st meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay. Approved, which I don't have those minutes with. What?
No, yeah, I just put them on your desk.
Should be
It's
there
the
somewhere.
draft one, okay.
Yeah, you just gotta draw a line through it.
Okay. So we'll sign one when we don't have a real one to sign.
Okay.
Do you want us to just sign them?
I mean, I don't mind putting it on the website with a cross out.
Yeah. It didn't change.
Right.
Okay, adjustments to the agenda. Do we have any adjustments to the agenda? Okay. Good, so top of the list. James, you got,
Easy for me just a month.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And the reason why we had you here is because we don't really understand the whole study. And
Sure.
where, do we have, it's in my stuff.
Last meeting.
Oh. Okay, but we, hold on, let me go. That's that stuff,
So this is the speed guard. It was out, I wouldn't say quite a bit, but, you know, 14 towns, so everybody wants it. So I do my best to, put it out there as much as I can. And the times it was down here, I had one time where the system shut down. I got it out, end of the year, I sent it out for repairs, but so it didn't collect all the data. But this time here, it was out for the better part of 2 weeks, I believe, at least a week. So what it does is every time it's tripped, every time a vehicle passes, it records the data. So speed, direction, and date and time. So and then the software breaks it down. So I do my best to print off the sheets that are, it can do a ton of stuff. But for you folks to see, when the trouble times are, and the volume of traffic times, that's why I printed off what I printed off. So as you look at it, it should have been broke down by each day, and then there's the graph, and then it
Yep.
breaks it down to each individual speed. And as you can see, the speed limit is set at 30, so you set it up for 30, so that's why it's able to break down, and show you each. So, the 40 to the 40 and above, I actually expected to be higher. I have another town that's very similar to Groton, and they have, their high average is like 50, 35. So
We're not even hardly showing any 50s on here, if I read this right.
fortunately, yeah. This was facing Barry, so this was facing south for majority of the time. I did spin it around.
Yep.
That's when it, like I said, for some reason, it went into shutdown mode. But anyways, so that is coming in, and this will pick up pretty much as far as you can see. The machine will pick up.
Okay.
I'm not talking miles, but about 2,500 to 3,000 feet. It will pick up. So when I aimed it, it should have been just as you're coming around into town here, just before the town clerk's office here. So it's collecting that quite a ways in. So for us, I think that says more, if they're getting into the village deeper, like when we sit down here, we get a lot of 40 plus coming in this way. The other end of town, when I sit down there, it's not quite as when I was down here, or when my deputies were down here, we see more traffic coming, north into the village faster, because it's straighter, you know, and there's only one speed limit, you know, that's dropped. On the other end here, on the Wells River side, it's, you know, 50, 35, and then 30. So you've got more to keep track of, but because of the hump too, I think.
So people don't go as fast coming this way?
We don't see, from what I've been paying attention to in my deputies, we're not seeing it quite as bad. That's why I have them usually sit right here at the town clerk's office. The other reason is we're more visible. I think if you come over the hump in the town, you kind of go by us. You know, you may not see us as quickly as you are if we're sitting. You know, you can see us at the town clerk's office pretty much as you come drop into town. I have a lot of people, if they are speeding, by the time they hit the garage or the library, they see us and they slow down. That's why I see that drop. So that's telling me we're visible from, you know, pretty much as you enter the village on the other end of town. It's coming up over the hill here, and then as they wind into town towards, you know, if I'm facing south, that's where, you know, we see the higher speeds.
And the reason why we're doing this is because we were trying to do a study so that we could put those digital
Radar.
signs, radar
And did you have
signs.
any luck with the state?
Well, we need to send in this. It's still a process. It's
Okay.
still, this is part of it, and
Whatever else you need, if they need stats, ticket stats, or stop stats, because they actually have somebody new who's kind of taken that over, and they do a great job. They're much more attentive. Not that the other person wasn't, but I think they kind of got they have less to do. This person has less to do, and because they see a lot more towns now, those signs come a lot quicker than they used to.
yeah, and there's a lot of towns that are putting them up, and I think they
Yeah,
work
they're very
well
effective.
work well because people are like, oh shoot, I'm going too fast, and I slow down. So
And it's a constant reminder rather than just us down here where
Right.
they don't see, yeah.
right, so that's our goal, is to try to get that so we can have those signs set up, which is what we're working on and trying to understand.
And I can print the complete,
From these, it doesn't seem like, I mean, I see a little bit of red, which is 46 to 50 up here, here on the top, but for the majority, most people are kind of staying within where they should be staying, but then but I know,
Wow,
but
36 to 40 is
still quite a, yeah. It's
10 miles
10
over
miles,
speed limit.
right.
right.
You know, the yellow is still speeding.
But it's not doing 50.
And where you see the
now.
zeros, that may be an anomaly because that's when it went into the shutdown for that part. It may have still been recording. It just for some reason didn't do the traffic count for that. But like I said, I've sent it off. There is a glitch, and I actually have another cart coming for the winter because it's so popular. My goal is to have one north and to have one south, so it's out all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, where you see the 50 plus, that would be a good thing if that's the case. I'm not saying it's not, but you know, the majority of time that I spend down here this summer, which I did spend several, you know, quite a few hours. I didn't get a lot of, you know, anything over 50. Usually it was about 48, I think was the highest that I would see.
Okay.
And a lot of that was residents too, I'll tell you, not to throw anybody under the bus, but
Right.
a lot of the traffic wasn't, you know, a lot of times like Burke is a high tourist town. They have a huge influx of folks that have moved up here, and their speeding problem is huge too. They had their 30 in the village, just like here. It's very similar, actually, where you come in from 50 to 40, then to 30, and we see it at the fire station in Burke, if you're familiar with it. Folks just rocket through there. And like I said, you'd think, okay, well, is it the mountain bikers? Is it the tourists? No, most of it's the locals or folks that have just moved here. You know, so with that, something else that I can offer, boy, you know, yeah, we educate when we do our stops, if we write a warning, you know, because again, folks, oh yeah, I've lived here all my life, well, then you should know the speed limit. But then it's, well, I've just done it, you know, I'm in a hurry, I have, you know, people that have a set schedule, you know, and they've got to be here. You got kids, you got work, a lot of people work 2 jobs, you know, you've got to be everywhere. And I've had that discussion with a few people, because it helps us decide, you know, how do we, you know, the best way to enforce, but to give the information to the towns where some education. They make the signs, you know, they have the slow down signs. You can go to.
See, Lunenburg put up something in our community,
Yeah.
please slow down.
Yeah, and you can get it, that stuff, most of that signage is available, it should be free. It's either through DMV, Vermont Leagues of Cities and Towns, they make all that available. And I was gonna offer that up too, I can get some of that contact
Okay.
information.
I mean, we haven't got a lot of complaints on super speeding people. I mean, we have had some times where people have been in to talk about trucks that were speeding one time and this and that.
Most
but-
recent was on the other side of town, someone complained about just seeing a nonstop coming.
Yeah,
Into
and I
town.
had a few people stop when I was out here too,
Yeah.
say the same thing. And we can do that as well, you know, we had a couple of problem, you know, whether it's a new kid, you know, getting his license and he's a little, you know, heavy in the foot, or maybe somebody who's just, you know, is a careless driver. We don't need to wait to stop them. If somebody comes to us with a valid complaint, we have the information that we need, we call. The parents, until the kid turns 18, the parents are in control of their license. So my first phone call was to mom and dad and say, you're on the registration. If he causes an accident, he runs somebody over, he does property damage, it's on you. Okay, so you've been warned. We're telling you that you're the person driving your vehicle, your son, your daughter is driving reckless, or we've had more than one complaint about their speeding, and it doesn't need to be 5 complaints. You can call us once and say, hey, this car almost ran us over. You know, they had one in Barnet where the kids went by the bus with the active stop sign on. State police tracked them down, dealt with it, boom. You know, we don't need a series of complaints. It can be one, because that's all it takes. You know, why wait for something bad to happen? But that's effective. So, you know, going forward, again, it doesn't matter what it is, and we email, Carrie and I go back and forth, or, you know, you and I go back and forth.
I have another question since
Yep.
you're here. We seem to see quite a bit of cars that aren't really legal. We have the
Oh, yeah. There's more illegal
these paper
vehicles on the road
things and no-
than legal in
So
Vermont.
are you guys like?
So
going
DMV
to-
has started, luckily they have a new DMV commissioner, and he's actually somewhat local. He's part of law enforcement, so what you get is you either get somebody who's administrative or who's active law enforcement that runs DMV, and these paper tags, right, the white pieces of
Yeah,
paper
that have
stuck
been
in
on
back
there
windows.
and worn out for.
Temporary registrations are not put in DMV's database until now. They started this summer putting them in the database. It just takes a while for that program to kind of collect everything and then make it viewable to us. So now we can run those sheets. The problem is they've been in there some of them have been in there since COVID started 2 years ago. You can't read anything. It's probable cause to stop. We stop them, we can't read it. And then, like I said, 99 out of 100 times it expired either yesterday or 2 years ago, you know. Very rarely do you go from that white piece of paper to a plate. I basically live in St. Johnsbury, and I see cars every day that I've seen the same car with this in the back window for a year now. If I stop them, sometimes they get them renewed, renewed, but like I said, there's a huge amount of vehicles running around out there. But we do deal with those. Those are priority, and I tell my deputies,
Yeah, 'cause
if you can't read it, it's probable, you could stop it, but if there's defective equipment, headlight out, you know.
Well, that's what I'm
something
trying to say. A
missing.
lot of these vehicles, you don't
Right,
even
they're
have
just
to read
junk,
that. You
and
can
they're not
see.
inspected.
Well, there's one that goes up and down the railroad bed.
Yeah.
There's only one window in it. That's the windshield, and that's all smashed. You can't see it.
He goes up and down the railroad bed. Okay.
You have the authority on railroad bed by our,
Yeah.
By
railroad
our-
ordinance.
Yeah.
Yeah, ordinance.
Do you
Okay.
ever go on dirt roads? Like I live on Glover Road.
We,
People take it as a shortcut to avoid town, go from the Danville Peacham Road over to 302 and
Okay.
they go really fast. And there's
On
a
the
lot of
dirt road.
cars just like.
Because we
you're
can
talking about.
take two
On the
care of the road.
Of course, that would be 50 and that's otherwise posted.
right, it is.
That would be 50 and otherwise posted on that road.
It is.
But it is posted.
It is
At
Every
35?
road's posted.
Yeah, it's
At
posted
35.
35.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's very few towns in the county that I'm aware of that have not adopted. In the last 10 years, I've seen almost every town adopt what used to be, if it wasn't posted, if it was 50, they had posted it at 35. There's no 40s, there's no 45s, everything's in villages, towns and villages is 40 on the blacktop, you know, because it's a state highway. But once you're in the village limits, it's 35, 30, 25.
Okay.
Yeah, every road's supposed to be posted unless someone stole the signs.
Right.
They'd look to steal it.
All right, okay. Well, so we have lots to cover, but we appreciate your time
Yeah.
coming in. Aaron, anything else?
No, I think,
I think that.
And I don't know how you do mailings, I don't know how you update the community, but, you know, you can remind them that, you know, we are here, and if they have a specific complaint, if they have something, a motor vehicle complaint, they can call the office, but if there's an ongoing issue, I always say they reach out to the select board, you folks in turn tell us, hey, this is what we've got going on.
Which we have had some
Yeah,
discussion with
yeah,
the
but
deputies.
again, garbage, you know, the illegal dumping, somebody's got,
Right.
you know, suspicious activity, if we can watch it, we're happy to do that.
Okay,
But if
good.
more folks knew that, hey, look, if they have a neighbor or they know somebody that's, you know, if it's motor vehicle wise, we can deal with it immediately. We don't need to catch them in the act.
Okay, good, thank you.
All right. no
Appreciate
problem.
your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Good night. Happy holidays.
Yes, you too.
Yeah.
Okay, highway.
So, I mean, I gave you an update via email, but.
You
so
did.
Great Eater, I got that Monday, put it in yesterday morning.
Which is great, thank you.
Back going. I don't remember what, I'm out doing some grading.
Yeah, because it's warm out, you're trying to fix up some stuff before it freezes up.
Another thing we need to talk about is the stump dump.
Okay,
Cause I put them no dumping signs up this summer.
correct? And they're still dumping stuff.
Well, they still took signs.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Why would you take the sign?
so you can dump stuff, not get in trouble.
Well, are people still dumping stuff in there?
I didn't see anything new down there.
Because what it comes to next is we're gonna have to gate it, or we're gonna have to block it off. If
Well,
people are
what I'm
dumping
wondering,
stuff in there.
they don't seem to go down by Clark's Landing that much, but they do the other end because there's no houses around. Is putting a gate on the lower end of it.
A gate on one end, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, that's probably not a bad idea. We
I mean, it just,
try that if it continues to be I don't know. Do we need a gate or a chain or a cable
I don't
or?
like chains of cables.
you did it reasonably. It didn't cost a lot to have that other gate put in.
No, it was pretty reasonable. I mean, a gate isn't, $300-400, whatever.
Right, all right, so I think we should probably put a gate in. And the fire department would have a key, but also would have access on the other end. I don't know what's gonna
Even if it's
happen.
Vermont locked.
Yeah, I mean, I think even having a gate up is, yeah.
Right, and
Most
then,
people are too lazy.
but things are gonna happen with this, with the
Grant.
the grant and all that, so, but I think it would be a good idea for the time being to probably do that.
It's just frustrating when you put signs up and they steal them.
It's terrible.
But I would almost, I know we can just close the gate, but I feel like if they're stealing the signs, we probably should lock the gate and whatever, because it'll just get opened and left open and then, or smashed up and whatever, so if it's locked, it's locked, and
Do you lock the sandpit one? I mean, yeah, okay.
so, would be my.
But they don't seem to go down the Clark's
The other
Landing
end.
access.
But will they now that the gate's
I don't know,
on
we
the
could
side?
try it,
Yeah.
see what happens, because of course the landing zone's down there for the helicopter. Not that but it's just, it's another thing, you have to open a gate, but that's what we're coming to, it
Did
seems
you put a
like.
sign no through street or something like that? So they wouldn't think that they could go.
Put a stop
across?
sign on each side of the gate, they'll figure it
I
out.
wouldn't waste your time, if they stole the signs that say, really.
You
And they probably didn't steal it, they probably took them and threw them out. I
No,
don't know.
they took, the sign said no dumping, so somebody took it and hung it off their outhouse at deer
Yeah,
camp.
right.
So if your sign says, don't put yard waste in here, maybe you'd be less likely
Yeah,
to.
Yeah,
It's-
Okay,
But we lost the Orpid Hill sign this summer,
yeah, that's
and
ongoing.
Beecham found it up on one of their class 4 roads.
yeah, okay.
I mean, it just,
What did that sign say? That was speed gun?
no, no,
Orpid
no.
Hill?
You can buy those at Home Depot, literally, no dumping sign.
All right,
Well,
yeah,
this
I'm
was
sure it's
a
not as
fancy
fancy
fancy as the
This
one
is
that
you
would be
have.
any
aluminum
You have a fancy
reflective
one.
one.
Okay, well, let's put a gate up and go from there. What about temporary driver, stuff for town, for the plowing here and whatever else that?
So, I
Did you
mean, we
see the
still
ad?
have Brent as temporary highway, he just doesn't wanna be responsible for doing the yard.
Okay, so does that mean?
But he's
some-
only filling in when one of you are out.
Or if I need him for some reason, or, I mean, he'll fill in for the highway, he just doesn't wanna be responsible, have to get up and look out and see if it snowed and
Okay.
all that.
So that position, we would need somebody to run the 1-ton, plow truck or whatever, which really wouldn't fall under the same guidelines, all the drug testing and CDL and all that, right? In order to fill that position, per se?
Per se,
Well, I'm just,
but it's still I guess that would be a question for VLCT and the insurance.
yeah, but you wouldn't
because
need to
it's
drug
still-
test somebody that was not holding a CDL and falling under those guidelines, right? You know what I mean? Like, why would we don't have a policy that says, unless it's,
I don't believe
it's
we
a
do.
commercial,
No.
you're a commercial, you fall under federal guidelines versus, I don't know, I'm just, it's a question.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, right now, I mean, Brent's still a temporary highway to cover if one of us is out, whatever.
Okay. So is he covering you guys? So you're gonna be
So
out?
he's gonna be your boss next week.
I'm my boss. I'm hauling Christmas trees next week. But, and there's nothing going on, so don't even.
But, so, yeah, he's covering whenever needed. He came
Okay.
in yesterday morning and helped me get that radiator set
Right.
back in the frame.
Okay, so do we need to put out an ad to
We need to find someone to plow this.
okay,
Responsible
so we
for plowing.
need to run an ad to do what I was trying to say in this is, are we looking for somebody that is gonna be, that's qualified to plow this in a plow truck or
A pickup truck.
a pickup truck per se versus running town trucks guidelines is what I'm trying to say, cause
I mean, obviously it'd be nice to have someone with CDL.
like, I know, but I'm just trying to look at
But it's gonna
options
be
and how
hard.
many people are available and would wanna do that job and whatever. So there might be people out there that don't have CDLs and whatever that would be more than happy to do that part-time versus whatever, so.
It's
Yeah,
not-
I think if you're looking for a CDL, you're looking for Jim or Dad.
Right.
Somebody that's retired, has a CDL. You're not gonna find a 28-year-old with a CDL that's just, yeah. So, and was he just doing the yard, or was he
Well,
doing
he
the
was
parking
doing the
lot?
parking lot down by the church. He
Yeah.
was doing the landing zone.
Yeah, okay,
right.
so it is more than just this.
But I'm not worried about that.
Yeah,
I mean, but
parking
also-
lot by the park
yeah,
needs to be done,
but if you're gonna pay him 2 hours, I mean, it's 2-hour minimum.
yeah.
I mean, they might as well do that.
Right, no, right.
I mean, so,
So when we put out an ad looking for somebody, I mean, like, we'd just say we would put out a general ad looking for a part-time temporary,
I wrote one up with,
Yeah.
working
It's in
with
there.
yeah.
Harold a little, so.
yeah, I thought about it more after I left.
Do we really need to say, they could be reworded.
Right.
I'm just trying to say the whole CDL thing, you know, do we need to,
Oh,
we can
when
just
we're-
start out simple and
Right.
see what
When we were
happens,
talking
I
about
guess.
that, we were thinking of temporary highway.
Right,
Yeah.
But more I think of it, I mean, you're not gonna, it's hard to find.
that's what I mean. So if we just found somebody that was maybe retired and didn't have a CDL and whatever and wanted to do that for extra money, would be great, in a way, right? So,
All right, I'll change it.
okay.
If we can't find somebody.
Aaron's
are we
gonna do it.
Yeah. We bid it out to be done.
Which, well, I thought we could ask Ben, I mean, Logan, I don't know if those,
We bid it out in the past and it's been expensive.
yeah, if you're gonna bid it
Right.
out, but
We
there's
had-
other people we could ask to to help out too if we needed to, right?
Ask who?
Well, like Ben, if they're interested in,
Ben's tough, cause he has his kids a lot of mornings.
right, but he's still gonna do the sidewalks.
Right. But he only has so much time before you gotta take him to school and stuff, and
Okay, well, it's
Well,
not my, it's not
Put an
my,
ad in the paper. and
Yeah,
see
I
what-
let's see what happens. Okay,
We'll start with
we'll
running
start
the
with
ad.
that.
You could say CDL preferred but not required,
Okay, perfect.
and then maybe get
Yep.
a couple of each.
All right, I'll put
What
it.
else, Harold?
that's all I got.
Okay. Treasurer. Lisa.
Thank you.
So we closed out the tax year. I
And
have
everybody
the,
paid their taxes,
yeah. There's I put the copy of the delinquent list in the select board folder. Just thought you guys might want to see it.
which I looked at it this weekend.
Yeah. Some have paid, so, you know, some people just forgot
That's
and
fine.
then they paid. So that's in there. I wanted to run by a date and see what you guys thought about. Usually we try to slow down the spending and cut spending. December 16th was the date I was thinking. So we only buy what we need to pay. We only pay what we need to pay. No more purchasing if we can slow it down. So I was gonna ask you guys if that date looked okay for you guys, or,
25th.
yeah.
He wants to spend right after Christmas.
Yeah,
I think it's a Saturday, right?
It is a
It's
Saturday,
yeah.
yeah.
that's fine, but
Okay.
I'm
So I'll send an email saying that no more,
Okay.
you know, cut spending.
freeze.
As
And
much.
Not a freeze, cause if
Not
you
a
need
freeze.
something, you're gonna buy it.
No, right, but, you know, just slow it down.
Try not to, yeah.
Okay,
Because it's,
Good.
Don't worry, Lisa limits our POs, so.
Yeah, but if you don't get the slip and you pay it next year, it goes on next year's budget,
budget,
yeah,
because we're cash basis now.
right.
right, okay,
You might have ordered it right now, but if it doesn't get paid till January.
right.
And then there's the big BMU, check warrant in there that is for you guys to
That is big.
sign.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And then the town report write-ups I'll be collecting at the end of the year, so I'll be sending out an email about that.
Okay.
And I'll probably include the, you know, slow down on spending along with
Have
that.
people's budget, anything, people submitted budget stuff? for
Yes, yep, I have them,
Some,
Okay,
all that have been submitted so far, so,
okay,
so I have them for you guys to take and review till
Okay.
December 2nd.
good.
Okay? That's all I have.
thank you.
Thanks, Lisa. Carrie, town clerk.
I have an update from the EV charging station, from Dennis Casey. So he said there's nothing new on the grant application. He's still waiting to hear if they've been selected to move to the next level. He did speak to NEK CUD, the manager of state parks for the region, and he stated that there's no current plan to place EV charging stations in any of the parks. So he thinks it's a good idea if Groton does have them. And he will just keep keeping us informed, and
On the grant,
if he can't be here, he'll send an update like that.
that's good, okay.
We had, we'll talk about it next meeting, but the Emily from the state about the culverts,
Which I saw the email on
Yeah.
that.
so she's gonna come to the December 6th meeting and go over
Okay,
what their thoughts are, and I know she met with Harold, and I
which I
met
couldn't be there that day, but yeah.
Deborah, and, you know, we went through the ordinance on what's kind of allowed and not allowed, but
Right,
we can
okay.
talk about it at that meeting.
Is that gonna screw anything up if that's not a road, it's a trail, or
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, it's not gonna be able to
you can't-
happen.
You can't.
it's not gonna be able to do it?
Not gonna be able to do.
You can't
more.
ditch the railroad bed and a road.
Yeah, but her, that whole culvert, can she still put culverts in even though it's not a road?
She can put a
Yeah.
culvert in under the railroad bed,
Okay.
she can put a culvert in under the road, but you can't mix the two together.
You can't.
She had thought
Title-wise.
about solving the
Title
issue
wise, you're
by
saying road and trail.
make
The ordinance
one culvert,
Yeah.
calls it
combine the
a-
railroad bed and the
Yeah,
road
okay.
for just a little
It's not a
bit.
road, and
Oh,
it states
okay.
clearly.
Right, but it's about the
First one.
wording of.
I just
of
didn't
it.
know if it was,
Well, it's
for
in the
roads.
first thing. in the
and if it's a
definitions,
trail,
it's
then
like
you
cannot
can't apply for the
combine
grant,
the
or,
railroad
I don't
bed
think it is, I think it's for
with
fish.
a road, the highway.
Okay.
So,
Right.
But it already is in spots.
There's only crossover. There's no,
Go to that. Little Italy Road is
Well,
Where the railroad bed used to be.
that is a fair point. But it predated the ordinance. I
Well,
mean, Little Italy Road was grandfathered in.
the question I had when I met with him is, you know, I think when that was deeded to the town or whatever, I remember somehow, I don't know how, but that can't be changed because if it ever reverts back to a railroad, which it never will.
No, the ordinance overrides everything. When that ordinance was done, you were on the board, we were on it together, Gavin, Reed. I mean, vast controls it in the wintertime. And the ordinance overrides any kind of old thing. And it is a piece of land that's owned by the town, and it is written that it cannot be mixed with a road.
Okay,
She can't make them all.
okay,
But-
okay,
I
so,
mean, she might now have a different idea of what she's gonna do. I think
Yeah.
Okay.
that just kind of squashes the idea of combining.
okay, okay, what
But
else?
she's gonna come December 6th.
Next meeting, yeah.
Yep. I had a complaint today about a trailer that burnt down on Cliffs Hill, the bottom of Cliffs Hill Road.
Okay,
Just a complaint on how terrible it looks, and
Okay.
what a mess it is, and, we're in a predicament of that in a
did
lot
you
of
take care of
places.
that?
Yeah, I went up, got it done.
Okay, good, thank you,
And that's really all I have.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Dorotheus.
They burned it
So I got a
down.
phone call and an email today, that I did get the grant for the $500. And I don't know anything other than that.
Okay, well, that's a good start.
And I said, what are you talking about? And he said, oh, well, there's an email out there. And I said, oh, okay. So I've got to work with NVDA,
Okay,
but just $500.
Good.
To use
that's wonderful.
to work on the maps and the,
Okay, good,
and get them kind of fixed.
okay,
John has been down twice. He came down last week and he came down this week, to meet with a concerned citizen, so we're working on that.
okay,
And he and I and the district advisor have been talking about reappraisal and the timeline.
okay,
So we talked, the district advisor talked with Jill Remick, and we're asking for a 60-day extension.
okay,
And she thought that was wonderful, that Jill Remick thought it was wonderful that we asked, and not a problem. So I just need you to sign the letter,
okay,
and it'll extend it to February 18th. We want to have time to do what we need to do on it, and there's a lot of other things going on.
okay,
So I'll send that in, that just says that, and I just need your signature on it. Thank you. And, just busy with a lot of things. I've got a couple other things, but I'll hold them there, they can wait till another meeting.
okay, great,
Thank you.
good, thank you, Dorothy. Fire and Fast, any word from Fire and Fast?
I don't think there's any updates, is there, Dorothy?
They came today and fixed the water heater.
Yeah.
And he had some building concerns, but I'll talk with the chief about that. They're not big deals.
Okay. Good, I guess. Constable, have you heard anything from Mark?
No,
No, and I haven't heard, so, I don't think he got his timesheets in yet,
No.
right, Lisa?
No.
So, I don't know, I'll try to catch up with him and stuff, I know there's lots going on with all that, so,
yeah.
library,
Hey, again.
yes,
So, Deborah and I, decided it would be a good idea to come in and give you an update, a follow-up from last time.
okay,
We talked a lot about all the great things happening at the library, still going on, still
Yes.
lots of great things. And regarding, there were some sort of behavioral, there was an incident that
Right.
occurred. There's been a lot of, I would say, mending of relationships since then.
Okay.
With some sincere apologies.
oh,
and
good,
so that's, heading in a good direction.
Fabulous.
And, that's what I can report on that
Okay.
particular thing.
great,
As a result of some of that, we decided it would be a good idea to touch base with Rural Edge about some of the safety concerns that surfaced after that. The general, I forget what her title is, but she's like the manager of that property over there. So Teresa Spitzer came and spoke with Sarah and myself, and we walked around the building, we walked outside of the building. They do have cameras that record the upper parking lot and the lower parking lot.
Huh, really? Oh, I
Yep.
didn't know that, okay.
Yep. So, we spoke about the possibility of locations for other cameras. Teresa is investigating that. The front door is being looked at to make sure that there's a lock on it that can be secured from the inside.
Who has, like, so who looks at who's monitoring the cameras if there's like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
who's in charge of?
I mean,
That's
Rural
kinda
Edge
interesting.
owns that. I
Okay.
think the idea is if there was something that happened,
They could possibly
they
go
could
back
pull the
and
film.
look into
and-
it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think it's saved like indefinitely or anything
Right,
like that.
no, that's the first
don't
I've
know.
heard of it, but
Yeah, we don't know, that's, yeah.
So.
it seems like there's a lot of
Teresa-
things that happen around there, so I don't know.
Right. So one of the things we talked about is possibly, and I don't know, we think there might be an issue because it's a National Historic Registry building, of moving the front door to the location that appears to be the front door but isn't, just because that has greater visibility from where the current circulation desk is. But we talked about some things. Rural Edge is looking into what they can do on their end.
Okay.
And the library is also looking at installing mirrors and things like that within the library that would help to create a little bit more visibility into some of
Okay,
the rooms and things.
Okay, good.
It's good, it's good.
Yeah, but what we have had in this past year, and we touched upon it last week, or last meeting, was that we had a near doubling of attendance at the library. So there's a lot of traffic coming through. So we did put together a proposed budget for next year, which includes a request for additional staffing.
okay,
You'll see that, we put, Deborah and I and Sarah worked on that. Deborah and Sarah have worked a lot, put in a lot of hours on that. And we provided an explanation for you guys to take a look at. It was submitted today, and
Okay.
on the second for town budget, we'll have Wayne Nutt and Donna Russo Savage, who will be in attendance to answer questions. The other three board members all happen to be out of town that day, so they can't be present. But we like to make ourselves available for, answering questions.
okay,
If you have questions,
Before or after.
on any of
Yeah.
on
Okay.
any of that, but we're putting together the package, which includes a lot of that data around usage at the library, and also the number of volunteer hours that are already being put in towards the, functioning of the library facility.
Okay.
It's roughly 70 to 100 hours a month.
okay,
So we're already, using, a lot of community members want to, contribute
okay,
their time. But there are also gaps that we feel, might be.
okay,
Anyway, that's our report.
okay,
Did I?
No, I think you did
anything?
great. The
Okay.
thing is, Sarah seems to have a great relationship with Rural Edge, and I think they're going to, with some effort, we shouldn't have to pay for
okay,
much of this stuff, but the doors and the wind mirrors and being able to see who's coming into the library, all those things were things we weren't thinking about, so actually, I think it's been a really good process for
Okay.
the library.
okay, good, that's good. We'll look forward to seeing what
Yeah, but
happens.
you're gonna find the budget's gone up because.
Yep, okay, well, none of
That's
them,
what we're warning you.
I don't think any of them are going down.
I don't, nobody's telling us they're putting their budget lower, so.
So, okay, thank you very much. Zoning administrator, which Dan isn't here, do you know when has Dan left in?
The zoning permits have slowed down, of course, with winter, so.
Okay, I did notice that, that they were working on the Royal Edge, the septic stuff.
Yeah, I
There
was
a
gonna say
crew
that-
there, But then there was a light on the next day or something.
Wire going off.
So I don't know.
Dan said that Rural Edge said the septic is completely fixed. The roof they're working on next, and they painted over the mold in the one apartment, and they're gonna see how that works to handle the mold.
Okay, all right,
And that was the update
fine.
for health officer.
Roofs, Harold will probably plow roof material this winter, so that. should
Yeah,
be-
that's a little, that's, but anyways, okay, that's fine. Health officer,
That was that.
okay. So, maintenance,
I don't know.
No, it was just, I already asked you about Tim Corey, haven't heard.
right, which we talked about, which I'll run into him. I think he's just hunting and everything
Yeah.
going on, he's just
Because
super busy.
one thing we wanted to get a price for the fan in the can deal that I talked to his counterpart with.
Okay.
You know, I'm
You
saying,
might be able to get that from Garrett too.
okay.
Yeah.
No,
No,
Garrett's
he's
the
the
one
one who
said
said
I
it.
had to go to an electrician.
Oh, really?
That's out of his
Yeah.
area.
Okay.
So, that's where it came from,
Yeah, okay.
so.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to nail down Tim.
Right.
I'll see him again and whatever, see what's going on. I think he, like I said, I think hunting and all
Yep.
the things going on, just busy and,
Garrett
like
comes
that.
again the 20th to clean all the furnaces, so.
Okay, I thought it was earlier in December, it wasn't?
December 20th.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
okay.
That's all I could get.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
IT, anything new on IT?
no,
Well, yeah,
sorry.
Gary, the printer, the talk of Dorothy needing the new,
Yeah,
so he thinks it would make sense for Dorothy to take the one that's up in my office, that's like maybe 3 or 4 years old, and give the new one up there, since that one is used more, and
okay,
it
makes
makes
sense.
sense to rotate them around that way.
Yep,
And there's $2,000 left in the regular budget for computer stuff, and then that new reserve can eat the other half of it.
Okay.
And we could get it done this year if he's able to get it.
okay, that's fine.
And Dorothy was fine, because
Okay,
she's already familiar with that one, and, I mean, the
Okay.
new one would be just like it,
Your
but
new printer's 3 or 4 years old already?
I know, it doesn't seem possible, but it is, yeah.
I actually think it was here when Linda was here, so.
I thought you got it.
No, Linda got it. Yeah.
okay. That
But
sounds
anyway,
good.
that's what was his,
So it's okay to do this?
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean,
yeah.
we
That
need
was
a
his thoughts
printer,
to
we get a printer
slide
and
it around.
update.
We got the money for it, so it's,
Okay.
and it needs to
Yeah,
be done.
let's do it.
All right.
Yep. If Gary can get it, and
Okay.
Planning commission, have we heard anything on planning commission?
we met last night.
yeah, and that last night,
I don't know if
it's
there's,
at the bottom of that update from Mike, no,
yeah, the
Have you seen the
email
planning
with the bids
commission?
and everything.
Says, for the planning commission, we're continuing to look into the tree grant and trying to come up with a game plan. Commissioner Steve Hart and myself will do some research and return to the select board with a proposal for this grant opportunity.
And all the planning commission minutes are on the website, so if people wanna, they have
Curious about it,
great
yeah.
minutes, and
Yep.
they can follow along.
Not only
on
that, I would say every organization
Yeah.
is on, minutes are available on the town website.
But they are interesting.
Yeah.
And, okay, so, planning commission, okay.
Yeah,
and
they're
then-
taking off, they're not doing a December meeting, their next one is January.
Okay.
So I think they did that last year too, take a little holiday break.
And NEK and CEUD and VOREC updates and all that, what I
Who's
had.
got that on top too?
He's got the VOREC on there.
Yeah, for VOREC, he couldn't make it tonight. We received 2 bids for the land surveying RFP for the Green Mountain property. I was planning on awarding,
I think he was talking about that last time, where the 2 bids and the one was gonna be quicker, and then I even
So-
confirmed in the office was the guy from the other one who said they were booked out till April.
Yep.
So he really wants to just have you guys, since it's under 5,000,
Okay, and he was hoping for the 45 other than the 42, so the guy could do it this year.
yeah.
Says I was planning on awarding the job to Bell Surveying, since they could complete the job within 30 days. The
Yeah.
other surveyor did not provide a concrete timeline. I've attached the two bids since they were under 5K, like you said. Consider the bids are attached. So it sounds like Bell.
So probably just accept.
Make a motion to approve the bid from Bell
Bell Surveying.
for surveying the GMP property.
I'll second.
You can't, you just got.
Yeah, but it's from last time.
Hi, Zach.
I identify myself as present now. And I second the motion.
Okay, any discussion? We just had discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's just a thing if you wanna look at it.
Yep. All good.
Anything else?
NEK, nothing, I've heard new.
Okay.
Dan thought something he saw going on, but I haven't had
Okay.
an update.
How about infrastructure project? Anything on that?
Well, in the purchase orders,
Oh,
you'll see.
the bill we got?
Yeah, have the bill paid and Caroline, her invoice for doing the work. So.
Wait, which I
And,
already,
and Ruggles got in touch with the person at Consolidated that had questions. Sent
So
him.
that's been,
So there's, some communication
Progress.
happening, so I think it's good.
And I fixed the hole over by the phone building.
I know, you put the sign over it with a cone on it.
No, I
Oh.
filled it in.
Oh, you did fill it in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, even better.
thank
They
you.
were having a fit, well, Herbie was having a fit because he's got to plow it.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
okay. All right, well,
So
thanks
I
for fixing
Come
that.
down and put some gravel in it, packed it in there.
Okay, good.
Thank you, Harold.
One thing, Zach, since you're here, James was here with the speed study and blah, blah, blah. What's our next step?
So some of it is the requirement for the pole, remember it's gotta be those breakaway things?
That's
according to state.
all specifications that we should have no problem meeting. I mean, it's just.
James said there's a new person in charge over there, and they're a lot more receptive.
Oh, okay.
So.
So what do we
and he
need to
said if
do
you
to
needed
continue
anything-
on with that, Zach? What do we gotta do?
There's a form you have to fill out and submit to the state.
Okay.
So we can, with the speed study info, we can do that.
And James said he would help out with whatever we need extra.
Need
I don't, would we need to
stock
hire
statistics
like
or
a
anything,
a
or-
contract to like put that out, to put that in and do the signs and all that stuff?
if
You can ask Carol, the state does.
Cause the state regulates
I
all
think
that.
the state will do it.
Yeah,
I think all we
What's
have
that?
to do
Because
is
the
fix.
state put all the no parking signs.
yeah.
Okay.
So the
They have
state will.
guys who work for the state that go around.
Here's the form,
Our
here's the
sign
paper.
isn't working.
They'll put.
Yeah, the one up on the hill's missing.
It needs to be
LED.
fixed or whatever, so
Yeah.
what, that's gotta be what, taken down and sent in somewhere or something?
And we've done
That's
that.
Dan on that, he did all that before.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Alright, so I guess we'll do a little on that. So if we could,
The post and all that, the state
Fill
will
in the-
do that. We just have to affix the sign to it.
so if we could fill in the thing, if you need help or you want me, whatever, we could,
Take a look at it.
we could work on that, right? Cause that's what we were waiting for, is a speed study to,
I have the guidelines here for it.
Okay.
I think, Zach, you had a copy of this somewhere
Yeah,
at
I
one
got
point.
lots of copies
Yeah.
of it all over the place.
okay.
Yeah, and he still forgets about it.
So Carrie's filling out the form?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll work with Carrie to get the form filled out.
Okay, awesome.
'Cause I gotta find the form too.
Open to the public or other business?
So I missed maintenance. Anybody, any update on the tree on Minor Hill? It's looking worse every day.
No, I haven't heard anything. Where were we at with the tree?
Green Mountain Power came and flagged it probably the end of June or July.
So
And
then
said,
what
we'll
was,
be back and we'll be back.
So when it falls over and power goes out, they'll be back.
so what,
on.
Green Mountain Power is supposed to take it,
Yeah.
They're supposed to remove it.
so
They were supposed to get most of it off.
could we contact Green Mountain Power and see somebody?
I can call again.
Oh, thank you, Lisa, that
They
would
love you over there.
wonderful.
If they come and get the pole, they could do that.
Yeah.
That would be
I'll
good.
call again.
Okay,
Tell them the chainsaw can cut that pole down too, you know.
Yeah.
Problem is, all them lines are in it.
Yeah.
all right. Follow-up, set agenda for our December 6th meeting, which I'm assuming our agenda is,
So there'll be the lady
Emily.
from Emily.
yeah, Emily, and, anything else?
Tim Daly, possibly.
Okay.
He'll let me know.
Okay,
And
And-
then it will be budgets on every agenda
okay,
till it's
Right.
finalized.
And budget
That'll
day
be after
is
The second,
the second, right, which is before the next meeting.
okay,
right.
Then if we have to do any tweaking, we'll have the 2 meetings in December.
okay. And we did get a letter for the community club for their using, you saw it,
Yep.
so that's good.
2 years in the making.
No, I know, but
Hey,
that's
never-
good, that's what
never-
we asked for, and
That's
they,
right.
that was good.
Yep,
Good
that's
to
good.
get that,
That's
finally. Sign or, I need a motion to adjourn, I guess, if there's something else.
Make a motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.